Hello everyone and welcome to Headlines and Prophecy. I'm Sebastian Lucido. Thank you for joining us today. Today we're going to look at 4 different news items that have been in the news of late. But first I want to explain our show a little bit. Headline and Prophecies come out every Monday, and we try to accommodate the censors by having content that is driven toward you with that in mind. If you want to get what I really think, which is another service of our ministry, you can join our website at watchersoftruth.com, become a free member, and you'll receive that every Friday, which is a raw, unedited commentary. So again, watchersoftruth.com, become a free member, and you can get what I really think. Anyway, today I want to start with the digital passport, the move toward what's called digital passports. Some countries are calling them immunity passports. Right now there's a big move in Europe. Right now, actually, Denmark, Poland, Sweden, and Greece all have digital passports being put together, which essentially, when you think of a passport, you think of moving from one country to another. But this is a little bit different. This is essentially a digital identification card that tells organizations that you've had the vaccine for COVID, you've had COVID, what your last test was, any of the mutation and booster shots that may be needed. Essentially, it's a ID card that controls your movement. And tells those, for instance, in restaurants in Denmark, when this goes into effect, you're going to have to show your card when you go in. And it basically is a passport not to get into the country, to get into the restaurant or to the entertainment venue. And so it's a step closer to an identifier marking who you are and where you are at and the vaccines. Now, what the problem with this? There's a couple of problems. One is, we live in a free society, and there are those that don't want to take the vaccination, and so this is going to prohibit them from going into those countries. I believe this is coming to our country, and so look for digital passports, they're called, or immunization passports. But essentially, what it's doing is it's proving or providing information that you've been vaccinated from COVID and that their facility is safe. And so this is a move toward the mark, as you know, in Revelation's the mark, and it's a move toward identifying who you are and what you're all about. And so we see this happening. We've talked about it here in our country. It's something that I think is very unfortunate in that we've always had freedoms to do what we feel is right for our family, and now I think we may be pushed into a position where we would be hindered from going into and participating in some of the venues that we love so dearly. Now, this is happening in Europe only. Right now it's Denmark, Sweden, Hungary, Greece, and Poland. We've talked about it. Other nations have talked about it. And so it's, again, using a fear-based issue to take away rights, change rights, modify rights, has been the trend over the last 50 years. I mean, terrorism has brought it. Now COVID is bringing it. And so it's global. The second thing I think that is somewhat unsettling is that the United States has decided to fly the LGBTQ flag at all of our embassies and consulates around the world. So essentially, underneath the U.S. flag will be the LGBTQ flag, saying that we're, basically a alternative sex nation, where we have legitimized and brought this this alternative lifestyle is a legitimization here. And we know that Bible believers would frown on this. We're now tagging our nation as that. And again, you'll want to come to what I really think on our Friday broadcast. The third thing is President Biden has talked to all of the leaders of the free world. I mean, in 3 weeks, he's talked to just about everyone in the free world that's anyone. The one nation that he has not spoken to yet is he has not talked to Benjamin Netanyahu in Israel, which is very disappointing in that they're one of our closest allies in the world. We share a lot of intelligence and military means in the Middle East, and he has yet to talk to him, had a phone conversation with him. I'm sure diplomatically, our diplomats are talking to each other, and there's communication between our military, but our president, our new president, has not called him. That's very unsettling when it comes to headlines and prophecy. And I think the fourth thing that I wanted to bring up today is look at where we're at. You know, a year ago today, this is February, a year ago today, COVID was a word. Today we have a fence, a 10-foot privacy sort of non-climbable or scalable fence around the Capitol and the White House. Last year at this time, high school groups were going to the Capitol and taking tours as they had been for several centuries. And now there's barbed wire and a fence that can't be scaled with about 10,000 troops protecting the Capitol and the White House. We have changed so much as a nation and a world in the last year. We have, migrated. If you just look at today, digital passports, not just to get into a country, but essentially it's to get into a restaurant in Denmark, in Sweden. These are free countries. These are countries that have freedoms. And so, COVID has escalated us to a point where, we're now carrying, sort of a digital marker for ourselves to enter into facilities and to exit them. The LGBTQ flag flying over, under our flag is a big thing. It's a huge change. I mean, and this is all happening on our watch. It's happening while we're here. Non-communication between the U.S. president and Israel is an issue. These are all prophetic in nature. And so the last is look at where we're at today and where we're going. I mean, we've completely changed directions on January 20th, and through executive orders, not going through our elected officials, and then the changing of direction, the changing of budgets and funding, and all of the things that we have seen are taking us in a direction to a Christian who sees through the lens of the Bible is in the wrong direction. And so we've seen even the impeachment of President Trump. We're seeing leaders of our nation not doing what's best for the nation and the people of the nation. We see that this political hatred and this political fighting in this great reset that we're moving toward, we're seeing things happen that we would have never thought years ago. I mean, if you had gone back 10 years and did a brief of 2021, right, of what we're heading into and where we're going, I don't think we could have believed it. So anyway, we need to keep the faith. We need to understand that tough decisions are going to have to be made in the future. We need to continue to get educated and stay informed about all of these things. And so with that, I'm Sebastian Lucido. I'll see you next Monday for Headlines and Prophecy. Please go to our website. We have lots of free resources, Bible studies, Bible curriculums, notes, workbooks. This is all free of charge. And then you'll get our private commentary, which is needed because of censorship. That'll go out on Friday of this week. God bless you and have a great week. Thank you.